But while we wait, we're going to get into the Audi Performance Zone, and Simon is going to give us some wisdom with the flat stick, Simon.
Well, I think we're going to look at sort of some of the changes that Rory has made. So I would say, first of all, Rory is probably more of an artistic type of a player, less of a scientific type of a player. And maybe some of the times when he's approached trying to solve some of his putting woes, he's used a very scientific approach, which has mismatched. Now, Brad Faxon, who's currently working with him, has really kind of worked on matching up the feels with what he sees and what he reads. So if you take a sort of a Rory typical putt, he is really trying to sort of, and sometimes Harry's in there and sometimes not, but he's trying to make a read. And then the big thing is, whatever he's going to do, he's going to commit to that decision. So the first thing is, make a decision, then he's going to commit to it. Those are big, big steps. And then it's very much not that many practice strokes. Sometimes he has it, sometimes he doesn't. But the McIlroy stroke is now much more kind of, sort of not too much time over it. And if you watch him play, it's almost like that grip is kind of rising through here, and that's how he's keeping that face a little bit more square. So, a little bit more of a face balance style putter. And then what he's trying to do is just to keep that grip rising and sort of blocking as he goes through the ball. So I think, it's become a much more compact action, right? And I would say the way he's training is training to have a lot more sort of control of the speed. So he does a lot of drills at lots of different distances. I think that's an incredibly useful way. If you can't really control the speed, it's very, very hard to get the read. So for me, a much more artistic style of sort of trying to do it, much more training himself out there on the putting greens to get the feel and from there build the confidence.
Thank you, Simon. That is a great explanation, and we have seen the putting of Rory improve steadily over the last 18 months or so, really. But this was one from a little earlier on 15. And you mentioned that you much prefer the pace that it's going in the hole. Yeah,
well, if you see where his putts are hitting, they're hitting much higher up, they're hitting into sort of like what they call I guess it's almost like a coffee, right? It's like you've got the white bit and the top bit and the black bit, and you're trying to hit it higher up the face.
I was going to ask.
So you get the speed, right? And so that's what he's working on, is not just dropping it in, which is too light on PGA Tour. He's trying to hit it maybe like 2 feet past and know he's going to hit it 2 feet past and then get the reads off that.
What is a good speed drill if you're like me and how I play golf now, in terms of don't have a ton of time to practice, we're just going to hit a few putts before we go out? What is a good speed drill for that?
Well, I think, obviously, if you play in the UK as we do, and you're coming out of whatever you call that winter, which was just sort of like it was like I thought Noah was coming. The greens take a while to represent themselves. So I think as they improve, their speeds change. So I would be sort of like really comfortable at 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, and just do speed drills, one ball from those different distances. And what you're trying to do is, does your eye match the conditions? So if you're continually short, right, then you need to feel as though you're hitting a little bit further past the hole. If you're fast, you need to drop it back a bit. So it's a case of, is my eye in, or is my adjustment of what I feel and see slightly off? And that's what you need to improve.